Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kira, aka Words by Kira, and in this really special video, we have the lovely Myriam on. She is one of my closest friends and my sister, and we are going to be doing a manifestation exercise together. So grab a pen, grab a paper. You can pause and get it right now if you want to, because we're going to do this together. I make videos about self-love and self-empowerment and also connecting with others through interviews to hopefully lead to a better life. If you like content like that, then definitely hit that bottom right subscribe button. Okay, so let's get into it. Myriam, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about you for those that don't know you yet?
Okay, so I'm Myriam. I do astrology. I have an astrology Instagram, Head Heart Balance. I love everything that has to do with wellness, intentionality, kind of digging through ancestry and just understanding ourselves a little bit better through some of these tools that you have, like through astrology tools, through ancestry and understanding ourselves a little bit better. And of course, manifestation and that positive thinking, but also working through our trauma, working through any blockages, working through any like subconscious things that we might be avoiding, because that it's like part of the process, you know? So
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I know you're gonna lead this for us, and I'm so excited. So how do we like first get into the exercise?
Yeah. So for the manifestation exercise, first you have to understand, I think the first step is like, what is it that you want to have, or what's the lack in your life? Because I think a lot of the times what we want is because we don't have it. So we kind of like frame our thinking like, oh, why is everyone else getting this and I'm not? Like, I think a lot, it's, you know, people have the tendency to think that way. And maybe if you can reframe it, part of the exercise, of the first step of the exercise, is kind of reframing the thing that you think that you lack, right? So I like to, and this is not invented by me, but you know, I like to draw two circles. So this is where you use your piece of paper. So you take a piece of paper and you draw two circles. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. It's okay, as long as you can draw them. And so one of the circles, you'll write like I lack on top of it. I would say the left hand circle. And then on the right circle, you write above it, above the circle, like I want to manifest ... right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the left hand circle, I would write or detail like kind of what it is that you feel like you're missing, right? Like, let's say like you need money to go on a trip, and like that's what you want to manifest, right? Or you want a man, or like you want a promotion at your job or something like that, right? Like you can kind of detail what you feel like is missing. Like what I lack right now, or I feel like I lack, is, you know, an opportunity to excel at my job, or an opportunity to kind of be recognized for the work that I do, or, you know, something like that, right? But I wouldn't even go too heavy on it, but it's more so just examining what it is that you feel like you're missing, because a part of that is to better understand, like, first of all, like just understand like where the gap is within you, or what you think is the gap, because it's really just in the mind, you know?
Oh, I love that. So the thing that we want to manifest, we write I want it in the circle on the right under the I. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but when you go into the I want to manifest part in that circle, I would be as specific as possible. Like, let's say it's you wanting to manifest like love into your life, right? What kind of love, first of all, you know, like, because love is all around. It's not just exclusive to romantic, right? Like if you want a romantic love interest, like detail what that person would look like. How do you feel with that person? What would you want the dynamic to be, you know? Like, in kind of being specific and not just vague and general, like, yeah, I just want someone who I have fun with, which is fine. But like, also like, what are the like, even just listing like the three most important things that you value or would value in a partner or in a dynamic between the two of you, right? Like, because you can say like, oh yeah, I want someone tall, dark, and handsome, but like their personality isn't, like, you can meet someone but the personality is not meshing, you know? So like you kind of want to get into it. And then also put a timeline on it. That is like key. So I would just add that. I would add the timeline, just, you know, put some pressure on it. Don't be realistic about it. Like, screw the realism. Like, this is manifestation. Like, if you want it tomorrow, it might not happen tomorrow, but, you know, like, just put that pressure on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give yourself, you know, allow yourself to kind of have fun with it and just know that like time is relative. Like, time really doesn't mean anything, while it also like plays a big part in our reality and stuff. Yeah, that's the first step. And then at the bottom of the circle, once you have that, I would write whether or not you believe that it's possible for you to manifest within that time frame.
Okay.
So, and be honest, real. Like, if you do not believe, like, let's say you want to make $1,000 more by the end of the month or something like that, and you're just like, I don't know how, when, I don't know what that's going to look like, and you're kind of feeling doubtful of that manifestation, that's important for you to write. Like, you know what, I don't know if this is possible within a month, you know? Yeah. And that's important, because then when we go through the second step, which is uncovering and removing blockages, that's a part of that step, you know? So say yes, no, maybe it's possible to manifest XYZ within this time frame. That's what I would write underneath. And then also I would just date it, just so you like have a personal, like, know yourself, like, you know, when you wrote it. So maybe it's something you could look back at and be like, oh shoot, I actually manifested this, like, you know. So
I love this. Okay, I want to pay off my student loans by December 2021.
The thing with multiples, I would create multiple what, and I know that's a lot of waste of paper, but like I wouldn't mix it within the same circle, just so there's like a distinction between it, and then you can kind of focus energy on one versus the other, because there might be different blockages between the two things that you want to manifest. Then did you write whether or not you believe that this is possible to happen within that time frame underneath the circles? Yes, no, maybe. I believe.
I know it's possible. I think the timeline is what's making me a little like, can I have
That's always it. That's always it. But like, okay, just, I mean, but with the timeline in mind, yes, no, maybe.
I said maybe.
Okay. Okay. So you wrote that down?
Yeah, I wrote maybe.
Okay, cool. Well, write the whole phrase. Write the whole phrase. Maybe I believe this might be possible. I don't know how to phrase it, but like, this might be possible within the timeline. Okay, so then the second step, this is the important part, at least in my personal opinion, and I feel like the longest part sometimes is, depending on the person, but like releasing blockages. So I like to phrase it like this, like, if you can think of any reason why you would block yourself from achieving this thing, what would that voice within you say, you know? It's like that little, like the negative voice in your head, which I feel like all of us have, that says, no, you ain't shit, you can't do this, you know? I mean, sorry, I don't mean to curse, but okay. But like, oh, you can't do this, like, oh, who do you think you are? You know, like those sorts of voices, or any voice, whatever the voice is telling you, this is the time to kind of talk through, like, what is that?
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to paying off your debt, if there's any possible inclination or whatever that could tell you, like, I don't know if this is about to happen by this year, you know, within this timeline or whatever, like, what is that voice telling you? Why is that voice coming up? Or like, yeah, talk me through.
So why am I like, oh, maybe I'm not sure if I could pay off my student loan debt this year. I guess so I kind of have two financial goals at once right now. So I don't even know if that's even the best move. So I'm also saving money towards like hopefully buying a condo, right? So I have the money. I have the money to pay off my debt. But I'm kind of like, okay, but I just want to have this liquid. But I'm like, but should I just really use that to just pay off the debt? I guess it's something. Yeah, you need a second.
I'm just giving random financial advice at this point. Like, not that I know nothing about anything.
I'm kind of wanting to hesitate. And plus, we all know, for all we know, the government might take some of it away, right? I feel like I heard that in the news. So, I think what? Actually, I do think it's possible. I do think it's possible for me. It's just a matter of, is it the best move for me to do this year?
Yeah, so to do this year.
Yeah, I think.
And so what would be coming up, because you have other ways that you want to spend it or like use your money?
Yeah, I think what's coming up is I don't want to make the wrong move with my money. I don't want to use my money for this thing and then it slows down. It slows down the progress of my savings for my down payment for my condo.
Right.
I think it's just about like, I'm a little confused about what I should do with the money I have. Okay, money, but I want to have more, and I will have more.
Yeah.
But right now, I just have this amount.
Yeah. So I think it's just basically releasing the blockages is kind of asking yourself, like, why don't I believe? Or even if you do believe it's possible, right? Like, just like dealing with like, why haven't I even manifested this before? Like what has prevented me from coming to this point? And like, obviously maybe it was not the right time, or like, there's so many factors in it, but basically it helps you align yourself with your goal better so that you filter out all the things that are preventing you emotionally. That's about you. Where are you blocking yourself? We say all the time, we want XYZ, we want this, that, and the third, but like half the time there is a little voice in us that's like, you know what, you don't really need this. Oh, like you can't really do this. Oh, you're not worthy of this, or that's for other people, not for you, or whatever it is. Like it could be 1,000,001 different things. But just being able to recognize that within ourselves and create that self-awareness, right? And sometimes I like talking people through it, because sometimes when you're just alone thinking about it, sometimes you aren't able to ask yourself the provoking questions that you need to kind of dig deeper, because like you might think it's one thing, but then like, okay, if I ask you a question to kind of go a little bit deeper, then you can kind of look at it in a different way. And you're like, oh, well, maybe, like maybe that's true. Maybe,
You're absolutely right, Myriam, because as we're talking, I think what probably is at a big root of it is I have a fear that I'm only going to make a small amount of money. And I feel like if I made more money, it would be much easier for me to put some of my income towards the student loan and still be able to have my savings. That's the worry I have. It's like, I feel like I'm always just trying to work with this amount I have right here. And I don't know if or when I'll have more. I think that's I've been
that's real
with the same salary for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm being really transparent. That's probably the root of it.
No, but I mean but that's real. That's real, because the lack, or like the blockage is believing that like, oh, well, like if my money is fixed, like if I, the fixed income that I make, like I have to be really mindful of how I'm using it, but if you're able to kind of release that blockage that like, actually more money is going to come, especially with that, if a career goal you have on the side, or whatever, like money is coming and flowing so that you have enough to kind of disperse it in the way that you want, And it's just keeping that mentality. It starts in the mind. My mom, she always tells me, she's like, with her little accent, she's like, things start in the spiritual realm before they hit the material realm, you know? So it's really in spirit first, you know, like we have to believe that it's done, you know? I think even on my phone, I have this, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it'll be yours. Mark 11:24. Like, it's literally like, you have to already believe that it is so. And I feel like that's this process of manifestation that I know a lot of people feel weird about the word, but like, that's really what it is. It's like a prayer and you believing and putting it out there and asking for it to come and, you know, so yeah.
You're so right. Oh, I love this exercise.
Yes. So then the third step is the meditation part of it. But it's really not, it's like a visualization, you know? So maybe you spend 3-5 minutes, not super long, you know, in quiet, like you could set your timer, you could do it alone, whatever, play music or not, whatever, just in silence, closing your eyes, laying down or sitting up. And literally allow yourself to not only see it in your eye, like in your mind's eye or whatever, but allow it to be like a sixth sense experience, you know, like where like you literally are walking yourself as if it was a memory, that like what it is that you manifest is like something that has already happened, you know, like let's say it's you paying this loan, right? Like when you're closing in meditation, you can visualize, like you see, you log in and you're making that last payment and you're like, woo, like you can see it. And then you can also feel it in your body, like the excitement and like the relief, the whatever, like that's what you want to manifest, or like that's what the visualization part is about, is not only seeing it, like the whole process, the you paying the last payment, you getting that notification that your loans have been paid off, like, but it's also like feeling it emotionally, like letting it be like a bodily like experience, you know, like, you know, when you watch a TV show, like sometimes like you get like you're crying because they're crying, like it's kind of like allowing yourself to feel what you're seeing, you know. And once you get that, after you do that step, the final step might feel contradictory, but it's about just like letting go of attachment to it. Just like, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes when we fear of losing something, we hold on harder.
Yes.
And that doesn't, first of all, that don't even feel right. Two, it feels like we're going off of like lack, like it's still that lack mentality, like, oh man, I need to hold on to this harder because I want it so bad. But it's just like, when you practice like the letting go of the attachment towards it, it's just like, I know God's got me, you know, like literally, I'm not even sweating this. I'm not anxious about whether this happens or not. Like if it don't happen, like I know that I'm like blessed, highly favored, it's going to happen. Like, no, even if it doesn't happen in the way that I think it'll happen or in the timeline, like I know that God's plan for me, or the universe, or whatever people want to use, like is greater, you know, like I know that my guides are looking out for me in this process. Like, so no matter what it looks like, I know that I'm going to be fine, you know. And it's kind of releasing that like feet, like that, like holding on, like, oh, I really want this. Like, you know what? I know that it's going to happen.
Yes.
I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what, even if it doesn't happen in the way that I imagined it, I know it's going to happen. So I think that's like the last part. And then forgetting about it and living your life. That's it. Like
another very important one, because obsessing about it, you're thinking about it all the time, you're anxious. That's not the energy that I think will just naturally make it gravitate to you.
Exactly. Exactly. And you better act like it's already been done. You know what I mean? Like act like match the energy, you know?
Yes, it's already been done.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the meditation. I'm gonna do the meditation
Shoot.
today. You
Yes.
guys do as well and follow the final step that Myriam said about letting it go and not being attached to it.
Yeah.
Lovely, girl. I love this.
This is amazing. I love this. This honestly, this manifestation exercise is the most, like, I just love it so much. And I feel like whenever I've done it with friends and stuff, like I've done it with you, and like I've done it with one of my close friends multiple times, and every single, she's like my guinea pig prime example of it working. And she's not even like super crazy disciplined with it, right? Like we just do it, we work through it, and like next thing you know, I remember one time I did it with her in June, and we worked through some of her, you know, things that she would want to manifest. And one of the things was like moving to New York, taking her acting career to the next level, whatever. By October, the way it happened, she like not spontaneously, but like she was like, okay, this is the time. October happened. Her job that she had in this area was like, oh yeah, you could work remote. Like, and this is October 2019. This isn't like after, you know, in COVID time. And her act, you know, it's just like the way that things came together was like, I think very interesting, you know, so.
You know what's so wild? So lately I've been kind of like thinking more about like different career opportunities and like, you know, with my writing, and I really enjoy like speaking, and even with like taking pictures and things like, I think it started the past summer. One of my friends, Sadiq, shout out Sadiq, he took pictures of me. And then another friend who is a photographer asked to take pictures of me. And then my other friend told me about like this photo shoot opportunity. I booked the job. Like, so then it's like all of a sudden I just started like, getting into like modeling.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Years. Yeah. And it was just like, I just still had so much fun with the pictures. And in my mind, I was like, I would not mind modeling again. Like, that sounds so fun. And it's crazy how like more things with modeling just kind of started to come in. And like I said, I really love speaking, and I've really been wanting to do more speaking type engagements. My mentor's girlfriend randomly hit me up like 2 weeks ago asking me to like be a panel leader for this library event for women.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Like, she just randomly hit me up. So,
that's,
yeah, this stuff really works. It
really does.
And I feel like it was just thoughts like, I'm like, I like doing this. It feels good to do this. And it's so funny how now more opportunities are just flowing towards me.
Yeah. And I appreciate you so much, Kira, because I feel like you're like the one main friend that I feel like is always so supportive, always thinking of like, oh, you know, this thing, like, I think you would be good at doing this. And like, I appreciate that like so much. No, that's such a valuable trait.
Of course, girl. Well, first of all, I love you so much. And you do so many incredible things. You help people, you inspire people, and I want other people to know about you. Why not? Like, I want them to know all the great things you do. And, all right, please comment below if you do the exercise. I highly recommend it. This is really helpful. Myriam, thank you so much for walking us through all the steps today. And I just love you, girl. This was
I love you. This was so nice. It's always fun to like do this with you.
Definitely. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.